At the beginning of the story, some children are shown in a school, and Ruby was also eating with them. A young girl begins to tremble and have blue eyes all of a sudden. She later collapses and passes away. Nobody knows what happened to her, so everyone is in a panic. Later, we learn that this is a virus that is affecting children. Scientists are working on a solution, but there is currently no cure for this virus, and 90% of children who are infected eventually die. After that, the American president is shown saying that his son is also infected with the virus. He also says that all of the scientists and doctors are working on finding a cure for it, and he hopes that his son and other children will recover. The president advises sending any infected children to the CDC department so that scientists and doctors can treat them there. Ruby was one of the infected children as well. It was her birthday, and her parents celebrated by giving her presents. They were also concerned that their daughter's illness might hurt Ruby at night, when Ruby comes to her mother and sits next to her while holding her hand. She leaves in a state of panic after her eyes suddenly turn orange. In the morning, Ruby goes to her mother. To her surprise, she does not recognize her. She shows her night present and tells her mother, "I am your daughter, that you gave it to her at night." Her mother doesn't believe her, and she thinks this is a sick girl running away from the police. Because of this, she hands her over to the CDC team, who takes Ruby. There were a lot of other kids in the bus with her who were also infected, and they were taken to the base in a lane. In the meantime, a boy was fighting with a guard, and the guards beat him a lot. Ruby gets scared when she sees this, so they go to the doctor to get checked out. Now it was Ruby's turn, and the doctor tells her that this disease is caused by a gene mutation that changes people into something else. Every child has a unique set of abilities, which is why we've named them after colors. Green is the most intelligent, followed by blue, which can lift anything, and golden, which can control electricity. All of these colors are safe. However, the powers are not the same for each child. The doctor begins the Ruby's test because red and orange are the most dangerous colors in them, but they are uncommon. He was about to give Ruby an injection when he realized that she was orange. Despite the fact that the doctor has located her, Ruby remains in his mind as he gazes into his own eyes and observes that she is green. Now that the doctor has cleared her while keeping her green, Ruby has the ability to control anyone's mind, uses it as she pleases, and it can happen as she pleases. The children were then outfitted in blue, golden, and green. Because they had already ended them, there was neither red nor orange. Ruby had aged and was living with the green children. She couldn't complete the task that smart kids can do well because she was orange. One day, the guard suspects Ruby and hears a voice. The extraordinary individuals having abilities who live there can feel that voice. Ruby hears the voice but is unable to bear it, so she faints. She was taken to the medical room, where a doctor performed her checkup while the guard arrives and announces that the meeting has ended. Ruby reads the words, "They discover you are orange, so if you want to save your life, so come into the other room. I am waiting for you there," as the doctor leaves. Ruby follows suit and moves to the doctor. The doctor somehow brings her to the car, but a guard stops them and Ruby controls his mind and lets him open the door. Ruby has finally seen the outside world after many years because she has emerged with the doctor. Ruby says she wants to meet her parents, but the doctor says it will be risky for you because there are no kids in the outside world. Many people have left the city because of this. She gives her a GPS and tells her to press it whenever she's in trouble so we can find her. She claims that I'm taking you to a camp where we have saved numerous other children similar to you. The doctor stops the car and runs into her companion, Ruby, who shakes her hand and scares her because she remembers that man and the kids running away from him. Ruby moves inside to change clothes and finds a golden girl there. However, the girl is afraid to see Ruby and uses her powers to attack Ruby with electric shocks before fleeing. Ruby pursues that girl, but the girl closes the car door and moves inside. When Ruby hears this, she opens the door and hides the girl while calling her inside. The vehicle also contained two additional individuals, one of whom went by the name Liam, and the other was his friend. She says, "I'm green and scarcely any individuals are pursuing me." Hearing this, they prepare for aiding her. The doctor and her companion were also being pursued by a team on the opposing side at the same time. Meanwhile, Liam, a blue, damages their vehicles, prevents them from pursuing them, and they escape. Now that they are staying somewhere, Liam's friend tells Ruby, "You are not a danger to anyone if you are a green. Why are you fleeing in this manner?" Ruby reads, "It's okay if you want to help me, but if you don't want to, I will leave." On it. Liam stops her and informs her that we are on our way to the home of an orange boy who saved the campers like us. "You can move with us if you want to," and Ruby agrees to go with them because there will be no danger. Ruby inquires of Liam regarding why he fled the base. He claims that the government was conducting erroneous experiments on us and that they want to form an army with us to fight the enemy, which is why I fled. On the other hand, the doctor was also found in the camp. He said that Ruby is green, but a masked girl stopped him. Ruby is shown sleeping at night, and when she accidentally touches Liam's hand, she recalls how he fled the base and tried to save other children with him, but he was unable to do so. The golden girl gives Ruby her dress after that, and she looked nice in it. Liam admires her while two men begin to stare at them. Ruby manages to control their thoughts as they leave in their van while the president's son's recording plays, and he says, "If I can be treated, why not you?" Then, since there weren't any, they went shopping at a mall. The golden girl also uses her electric powers to stop a few kids from attacking them. Because they looked like them, the kids who were attacking them also have special abilities. They say there should be trackers on you because you ran from the base because of it. We will likewise be gotten indeed. They ramble around evening time and here, Liam gets some information about the orange kid. He claims that I have heard that he saved children like us while keeping them with him and that we also desire to travel there. If you know the address, please tell us, but they claim it is secret because no one knows it so easily. One of them is controlled by Ruby, and he gives them the address, but it was written in code. Liam's companion, who was green and was canny beginnings, figuring out it, and Ruby was likewise supporting him. They comprehended it and were satisfied with it. Ruby was at her parents' house and wanted to meet them right away, so she decides to go see them. They drop Ruby at her parents', and when she gets there, she doesn't meet them because she thinks they won't recognize her. This makes her sad, so she doesn't meet them and weeps a lot. On the way, she meets Liam, and just as she was about to sit in the van with Liam, a girl arrives, the same girl who killed the doctor in the base. She comes here to hold them, but Ruby controls her and tells her to walk straight to the forest without stopping, regardless of whether she is hungry or thirsty. Her friends were surprised to see this. How does she manage to accomplish all of this? They find that Ruby is orange, and she asks her friends to sit here in the van. Ruby asks everyone, "Are you not scared of me? That I'm orange," but Liam tells me there's nothing to worry about. She asserts that I can't control my powers, but I can control the person I touch, and that if I act suddenly, that person could die. They move forward, and a few kids in army uniforms attack them, but one of them recognizes Liam. According to Liam, "We just want to live here to stay safe from anything." They concur and bring them along. The orange boy, who was the president's son, was then taken to them. He is pleased to see Ruby and her friends, and he reveals to them that the president lied to everyone that I had recovered and that different experiments were being carried out on me here. They established a camp and housed the children there after the experiment failed. He tells Ruby, "Don't worry, I'll tell you how to use your powers, I'll teach you," and Ruby learned everything gradually. One day, when Ruby was sad, the orange boy comes to her and tells her that only oranges can understand the pain of other oranges. The orange boy sees Ruby's life 6 years ago and becomes enraged when he sees him holding her hand. We learn what happened to Ruby that night and how her parents forgot about her. Ruby went to her mother on her birthday and, while touching her hand, erased her mother's memory, which caused her parents to forget about her. The orange kid becomes amazed and says, "Even I don't have the foggiest idea how to make it happen?" He asserts that none of those powers are mine. "Will you instruct me?" She states, "I don't know how I did this, and I lost my parents as a result." Ruby meets Liam, but he was enraged at her and said, "I know what's going on between you two." Ruby said, "There is nothing like this, and even we can't come closer because I'm afraid of doing the same thing I did to my parents." She walks off after saying this, and when she gets to the friend of Liam, who was sitting near the lake's shore, he tells Ruby that he feels the same way about the base and that we are not safe here. On the other side, the orange boy was conversing with someone via laptop regarding the number of blues and oranges. Ruby arrives in the meantime, and while he is observing her, he shuts down his laptop. She also comes for the laptop so that her friend can contact his family. Ruby agrees when he offers her a deal. If she teaches him how to erase people's memories while controlling their minds, he will give her the laptop. She was teaching him everything, and when she opened her eyes, she saw the orange boy behaving badly toward her, so she fled while punching him. As she moves outside, she weeps a lot, and Liam asks her, "What happened?" He reveals to him everything that angers Liam, and he was preparing to kill the orange boy. They were escaping from the camp at night when the camp's general arrived, and Ruby stated that now is not the time to fight, that we are not safe here, and that we must leave quickly. There is also the orange boy. They discover that the orange boy was also assisting the base here. The base, who wants to create a children's army, controls Liam and frequently beats him, but then Ruby takes control of the general and kills him. Ruby asks her friends to leave after the golden girl uses her electric powers to attack them as well. She competes against the orange girl alone. She commands his guards to fire guns at him, but he commands them again, and they end up shooting each other. Ruby also tries to control him, but things go wrong, and the boy takes control of her and says, "I will take out all the sad thoughts from you." Then, before he controls her and she crashes the helicopter on him, "We will rule the world." Liam's friend saved her from the bomb that the other helicopter threw at her, but he also got hurt. Ruby doesn't have the foggiest idea how would it be advisable for her. She responds, and afterward she recalls the GPS given by the specialist. She presses the button on the doctor who helped her escape the base, and the doctor saves them while her friend reaches them. When Ruby awoke, the doctor informed her friend that they had been transported to a house. Liam doesn't want to stay here. The doctor tells him that we are not your enemies. All we want is for the president to be caught. We need to uncover reality, that how is he doing the children, and we really want you in this mission. You can be the leader, and Liam won't let you go on your own. Upon hearing this, Ruby moves to Liam and finally meets him. She gets closer to him, erases all of his memories, and he can leave from there. Liam's memories have been erased, and he asks the doctor, "Where am I?" His life will no longer be in danger. She says that you are with us and that you can leave if you want to. Liam goes to his house from there. Ruby was sad that he had forgotten her. The orange boy, who was still alive on another side, is shown. Ruby was also ready to compete with him. She was the only orange after him, indicating that they were the only two who could control people's minds. His army was in front of him, the children under his control. This is the end of the movie, and they were prepared to compete.